Hey folks, what's going on? My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and we publish them online. And we're creating content for Dungeons & Dragons 5.5. It's Spelljammer, combat and exploration mechanics that we're building for subclass characters using the combat scaling system that we built for Spelljammer. Now we're creating character archetypes that utilize those mechanics. I'm going to check my volume here. Character archetypes that utilize those mechanics. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Drop that volume down there to keep it out of the way. I need to grab my social, I need to grab the link to this, do the social media stuff. So give me a hot second while I get my screens all set up here, and I'll be done in less than a minute, so you can catch me after the bump. I've been a DM for 38 years. I've been a Spelljammer enthusiast since its release, I think like in 89, 1990, somewhere around there. Big Spelljammer fan. I've been an illustrator since 2000, and I've been creating content on the DMsGuild since 2018. Now we're continuing to build on DMsGuild stuff for 5.5. So we'll eventually move out of we'll probably move out of DMsGuild space sometime and start doing independent 5e stuff. But right now, I'm in love with the IPs. Spelljammer, Eberron, Dark Sun, Magic the Gathering. I love these IPs, so I don't mind building stuff and creating them on DMsGuild. But I will eventually move out into fan content space on my Patreon, etc. So if you think this stuff is cool, boy, I'm trying to get to 666 subscribers. I'm at 664 right now. Bell icon, notifications. Here's a stack of books that I've already created that are on the DMsGuild. Most of this content's for 5.0, but we're updating things to 5.5 because better. And so check it out. And let me drop down here and we'll get to work. So great, here we are. We were laying in flat colors last time. We're going to continue that. I'm pretty happy with where the elements are sitting on the page. So I think what I'm going to do today is I think I'm going to leave the foreground dark like this for the time being. I'm going to need to add in color, obviously coloring for these characters, and to clean up the artwork here. That's more of a this is more of a framework than actual lines on the ship. So give me a minute. We're gonna have a character back here in the aesthetic, grappling. This that he'd be about probably about that big, and characters on here would be about. Characters are about that big here, so they'd be about that big here. That feels right. I think what I want to work on today, I'm sussing stuff out. I think what I want to do is I want to work on the middle ground. So we've got a black backing for each of these, kind of like a background layer. So I'm going to make sure that the black base is properly resolved. We're doing a little bit of line cleanup here outside of the lines. And then from there, we'll be able to start developing the actual color for this piece, blend this line art into the piece, and then we'll move. I think we'll do the middle ground first, then we'll go to the foreground, and then we'll finish with the background. Because the middle ground really is grabbing a ton of attention of it's a knot of creatures our ships in combat with each other, so I think that's really pulling the eye the most. So we're going to focus our attention here in the mid-ground. Let's make the front go away for the time being. I'm starting to really like this painting. There's always a period of time where I don't like the painting, and that time was yesterday. This is the 10th episode of building this cover. I'm liking where this is all going, honestly, quite frankly. I think it'll end up being a decent piece. Let's drop that away. The line art here is still a little rough, but it'll shape itself up. I think we have enough line art here. I mean, it's rough, but I think the line art is good enough to serve its purpose. And we're just gonna blend the art. We're gonna blend the line art into the color when we're done anyway. So the line art's not meant to survive the experience. It's meant to help guide the color to make sure that it sits proper. I think it's doing that right now. Last night we got through most of the Magic of the Gathering white cards in our endeavor to create color mana themed subclasses for 5.5 characters. That was a lot of fun. I enjoy converting Magic cards into D&D stuff. It's honestly a lot of fun. So that was a hoot last night. We're almost done with white. We'll probably be moving into blue maybe on Saturday. I think it's probably gonna be the next time we stream MTG stuff. We're very close with the subclasses. We've got this book laid out for the Artificer, Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, and Monk. We'll be moving tonight off stream. I'll be resolving Ranger and Rogue. Wednesday, I'm hoping to have Sorcerer and Warlock resolved, and then by Thursday, finish Wizard and resolve the front end of the book, like origin feats and weapon options will be in the front of the book, and then the intro. And once we have that resolved, the interior, we can start working on the interior art. So I suspect by this weekend, we'll have the actual layouts done for this book. And so once we get done with this book cover, we can start going into doing the interior art for this book. And once the interior art is done, we'll be able to publish it. But I think there's only like maybe 6 or 7 illustrations that we need to do for this book. So it's highly likely that this is going to be published in May. And while we're doing the artwork for this book, my evenings get freed up again. So I'm going to start working on, I believe we're going to start working on the Martial Power System. Get that one published. It's a toss-up between Martial Powers and the Bastion campaign system that we've developed. I think those are probably the two most valuable, or like the two most noteworthy efforts that we're putting in. I think they have the most impact on the 5.5 game engine compared to anything else. Like a progressive campaign building system using the Bastions is I think a mode of game that DMs will appreciate. We're playtesting that hopefully starting this weekend on my Discord server, and but the Martial Power System, for those that have been tagging along with me here for the past 2 years, it is a significant overhaul and an opportunity to bring a lot more balance and appreciation for martial classes in 5.5 compared to basically putting them on equal ground to the half-caster as far as flexibility and utility to the team. Full casters are still top dog in utility, and they should be. That's the role that the full casters actually play. But the marshals and half casters will be far more dominating in combat than I think the full casters do, which I think is appropriate. So those are the two most significant projects that I'm working on that will benefit the 5.5 game engine and community, I think. So that's where I should probably start. Well, I mean, I'm starting with this, but this is scratching off this. The Kaiju and Constructs book. That's going to pretty much finish everything that I need to say for Spelljammer. It'll put Spelljammer in a place that you can do pretty much anything that you want with it. I'm a huge Spelljammer fan, so that's really important to me. There we go. And we're just blocking in the shape here, and we're using a black matte background as a basically as a underpinning, because we can then paint color over it. But we can leave the black as is, and then when we're painting in the color, we can use it as highlights. So letting the black remain as the base means that all we have, like if I paint a little bit of color over it and I blend it in, like that can effectively be the leg, like if I do that. So using this black base and then using color to highlight it back in, I think that's going to be really successful in making the ships look really good here in space. And it should actually be a lot easier. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're almost there. So once we get these things properly blocked in with black, we can start overlaying the color with them, blend in the line art, and everything will be peachy. And hey, thanks for folks that are hanging out. I really appreciate anyone that comes through and checks out the channel. Artwork's a very lonely task intrinsically. It's a very solo project sort of thing. So it's only with the advent of streaming that I'm able to produce art like this daily and not feel utter isolation and loneliness, which is a massive problem for sculpture and painting and illustration. That's such a solo project that you don't really have anyone interacting with you while you do it. So it's a small miracle to us creators that we can stream stuff like this while we're producing, to be able to at least be able to interact with you guys, for anyone that comes through and checks out the channel. Highly appreciated. Wop, wop, wop. Almost there. It's being a little nitpicky now. We're gonna have to trim off that spindliness. Something like that. Oh yeah, this is gonna go smoothly. Block all that in. Almost done with this part. Yeah, it feels good. That's there, that's there, that's there. That all looks pretty good. Maybe some more than others. Nope, that feels good. Okay, cool. So let's have that sit. What's the next thing we need? Okay, so this is the black matting background between both the aesthetic and the Spiderling Fightercraft here. So what we can do is start with the aesthetic and work our way forward. Let's add our black back in. Take a trash layer and drop it way down there. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee here and contemplate our next move before we do ahead. Tequila. We're going to need to do the foreground limbs, these tentacles that are wrapping around the ship. They have to be in a layer in front of the spiderling. And the rest of it is behind the spiderling. Let's go with aesthetic here. Let's see. I'm going to drop the color of the line art of the spiderling down, so it's not as invasive. So we can pay more attention to the actual foreground, to the actual tentacles here. Front tentacles, that's not quite accurate. Back tentacles, also not quite accurate. How am I gonna do this? Welcome to the mix, guys. Let's maybe we just start with this foreground tentacle here. Let's grab our reference images here real fast. No, there it is. So this is the base color that we're using for the tentacle. Here's the line art we have for it so far. So let's, yeah, I guess let's grab this as our base color and work our way forward. Tentacle, aesthetic. Spiderling is in front, but the tentacles are wrapping around. Boy, this is gonna be difficult to parse the layering because we got the aesthetic behind with some tentacles, and then we have the spiderling fighter craft that is gripping, and this tentacle starts off behind the spiderling and then wraps around over the prow of it to the foreground, and then goes behind the legs. Yeah, okay, let's just start working, and we'll figure out where we're going. We'll figure it all out, guys. We always do. So, let's see, tentacle 4. Boy, the layering here is just really throwing me for a loop. Let me, well, thank you, Badoot Doop Phone. Yeah, let's start here. So again, we got the black base, and then when we ribbon in the color like this, I can grab our cloud brush here for smooth smudging. I'm going to conceal the spiderling altogether and the back tentacles so they don't get in the way. And the body of the aesthetic. Needs to hide chunks of its own art from itself. There we go. That'll work. Cool. Let's be here. And now we'll start smudging in. What happens? Yeah, so far so good. So what? Let's try that. Oh boy, this line art. That's isolated. Good. Let's drop the opacity on that quite a bit. Can we get down the timer? I only have an hour this morning, so I don't have a ton of time to play. I crashed so hard last night. I just could not wake up early enough to have a longer stream this morning. But I should be back to full capacity again next weekend. Or tomorrow. Next weekend. There, and can I... Let's duplicate this layer so I don't make any bad mistakes. But if I can smooth out that line a little bit and blend it into the the black background a little bit, by smudging it down like this, we should be able to effectively remove the eraser while keeping the outline. Let's make the body disappear here so we can focus on these lines here. Yes. This makes everything a lot easier. The planning and the composition of the piece and the line art all works together to help make the color portion of this reasonable. By using this black frame, this black base, and then painting color over it, makes painting color very, very easy. You're just filling in the space, and it's more like highlighting than anything else. Where light is at, you add more color. Where light is absent, like in the shadow, there's less color. It's very intuitive that way, and I think it makes for a neat effect. So I'm really excited to see how this piece turns out. Yeah, but it's coming along. So maybe by the time we have the interior pages done and ready for painting, we'll have this cover done. I don't think this cover is going to have to take us too long once we get all this stuff properly integrated. There we go. Hey, what's up? Hey, Bernardo. I connected at the same time that you left. Yeah, no kidding, right? I'm pretty. I always end right at 8 o'clock Seattle time or 11 o'clock Eastern Coast, and I'll log on anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half or so. We don't do a ton of work in the morning, just enough to keep the project moving along, just to keep things moving forward. When I don't have layouts and design work to do in the evenings, I can afford to spend time working on the art in the evening as well to help move things forward faster. But I got a lot of things on my plate that we've lined up over the past 4 years as we were working on that Eberron Adventure, the Bastion campaign, martial powers, converting the color mana system. Did I say Bastions already? So we got a ton of stuff on the plate. I'm always being kept busy off screen in the evenings when I am away from streaming. There's always a ton of stuff that still needs to be done. I'm trying to figure out that balance. But I tell you, the amount of time that we took slow cooking the stuff that we've been building, I think it's been really worth it. I'm going to put this on top of the tentacle. I think I'm going to switch to the guitar pick. I think the guitar pick's going to be a little bit smoother. Hey, what's up? You are only 2 subscribers away from 666. I know, right? I'm super close. I'll earn them. I will earn everything that happens on this channel slowly but surely. I've had this channel for like 5 years, and everyone that jumps on and subscribes is probably interested in both D&D and artwork, because that's pretty much what this channel revolves around: D&D and artwork. And this long form, slow cook streaming, like the slow art streaming. It's I don't think it's not very broad appeal. People that are looking for a dopamine kick. This channel medis out very, very small doses over long periods of time, as art should be. Slow grind, but satisfying. I think that's the type of audience that kind of resonates with what we do. I'm still developing space for me to have time to do recorded videos about, like, you know, specific topics, instead of me just ranting about stuff while I push pixels. But it's in the works. It's a very big change, and it's a big commitment to do videos and then do editing and stuff like that. And it's different from just jumping on and start yammering, right? Having a script and having something set and having something to say, and then having it be a complete thought, and then say it loquaciously, and then have it all done on what looks like one take or well spliced edits. That's a lot more. That's a lot more intent than my normal streams. My normal streams are just jump on, do some artwork, Bob's your uncle. I need to be careful not to completely fill in this space with the color. The whole point is to have the shadow. Actually, that's a good idea. Let's just take an eraser and drop the opacity a little bit here, so we can get some blend going. That's probably a good idea. So let's keep blending that out. I was going to ask you about your plan to make videos. Yeah, how about that, huh? I have plans. It is a work in progress. Stay tuned. Right now I'm in the procrastination stage of doing videos, which is I want to do it, I just don't have the emotional energy to do it yet. It means that it's not the right time quite yet. But it's in orbit, it's in my thoughts. So it will happen, it's just I'm not sure how and when specifically. Work in progress. Erasing this, bring it down. I think I need to melt away that line art a little bit too. Stubborn little things. Let's go here. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I think I'm gonna leave this. Some of this line art. That feels pretty good. Yeah, that feels really, really good. Hey, what's up? In my case, though, making the videos and editing exhausts me a lot. It is a big release when a video is published. Yeah, no kidding, right? Oy vey. Excuse me for a second. Cool. Bring that around. Yeah, I think that feels pretty good. I'm gonna erase up here just a little bit more, just to thin that down a little. There, that feels good. Now we can stay focused here and keep working on this tentacle. Let's switch back to our smudge brush to get that blended together a little bit more. Good. That's the kind of effect that I want in here. That feels really, really good like that. And then we can drop the opacity on this a little bit to have it curve in and fill out, and then we'll do another layer of highlight over this to help add form to it. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Where does this go? I think I want to actually have this curve down like that. Blend this in here. There, like that. And then curve around. What's up? Do you like how the drawing is turning out? So far, no, I hate it. I absolutely hate it, but that's okay. We're getting out of hating it into enjoying it. It's not the best piece that I've ever done. I already know that. But as long as the techniques turn out well and the interaction and the lighting is good, it'll be good enough. Sometimes good enough is, you know, like I said, it's good enough. Not everything's going to be a banger. And occasionally book covers aren't bangers either. but I like what it's. I like what it's. I like what it's. I like what it is. The composition's only so. The meh. You know, it's meh. It's meh. But it's doing its job. There we go. It's a more than anything, it's a great opportunity for me to play with different techniques, and the nature of Wild Space with the nebulous background and the star field as the background without having anything more tangible to have as a backdrop. It makes it so that the elements in the composition need to be strong. So I like this. I like how the ships are interacting. I like most of the components in the piece. I'm fairly happy with how they're interacting with each other. But it doesn't have any like powerful messaging. That's probably the only thing that I think that's what's holding it back from being, I think, a really good painting, is that there's no strong narrative message. It's just, you know, ships grappling. Here comes some more characters in the background. Rather, characters in the foreground. It's meh. You know, it's meh. It's okay. I probably shouldn't say that. I should probably be hyping up my own work. But occasionally, you know, I am my own art director. But even then, my art director sometimes gives me boring projects. I started making books to allow myself to become my own art director, so I could always work on things that I want to work on without begrudging the paycheck. But I can't always just do what I want, like what I enjoy doing, because there's always aspects of your work that you don't enjoy, and if you just avoid them, then your works don't get completed. Go. Bring this in. I'm focusing a lot more than I want to today, because I'm unsure of the technique. This is it's not new ground. I've done techniques like this before, but I'm figuring out the lighting and the language for this tentacle here, and once I get this one figured out, the rest of them will be a lot easier. But I'm being very, very painstaking and meticulous with this one. Spending a lot of time on it, making sure I get it right. So I'm going to drop the opacity of this down so it starts fading out into the background, so I can layer in a brighter highlight color across it. What's up? Hey, Def. Good morning. Yeah, I wanted to mute the colors. They were too bright, too sharp initially, so they were feeling unbalanced with the composition. So I dropped everything into a black background, and now I'm layering in color in limited strength to help the contrast in the piece. It was too sharp of a contrast in the mid ground with the full strength color that I was using. So I have to back it off a little bit with this different dark layering effect that we're using here. There, that feels pretty good. That. What time is it anyway? Hey, how about that? 7:30. I only got 20 more minutes this morning, but that's okay. We're getting to where we want to be. This is really setting the stage for us to win for the entire composition overall. By using this black base, nearly black base. Should actually be black. I don't know why it's not there. Huh. Good thing I did that. Let's wrong layer. There. Good. Good. I think just a little bit more mincing on this, and we can start doing some highlights. And then we'll move on to the next tentacle and do the same thing there. It's a meticulous process. Especially with tentacles. Tentacles are a pain in the ass because they're curved cylinders, or cones really. They're very elongated, curved cones that have a lot of geometry involved with them. They're organic, but they still need to have a lot of structure to look right. What if those tentacles had some sort of minor folds and creases? You probably already had that planned. Yeah, we haven't done any texturing yet. Right now we're just laying in base color and highlights, and then when we come back through and we do texturing, we'll probably have like little divots and barbels and folds and shit going on. But the getting the base down first is the most important part, and then we can figure out folds and creases and skin, little variations there as an overlay. To overlay the base. But yeah, those are details that don't need to necessarily have line art taken into account with them. Something like that. Yeah, the line art's terrible there. That's okay. There. Like that. Yeah, okay, I think that feels pretty good. Okay, decent base. Let's drop. The opacity, just a smidge there. This background. Can drop that down too. What is that just a, nope. Yeah, that was just a smudge on my screen. Good. Sometimes I sneeze, and I don't realize how much spray gets on my monitor. And then I can sometimes confuse those little spit blobs as stray pixels on the screen, and I'll chase after them to realize that I'm not doing anything here. Why is that? Oh yeah, it's spit. Sorry, that's gross, but I mean that's the reality of it. I sit really close to my monitor. I'm only like literally this far away from my fingertip. Like this is how far away from my screen I am. This is a 32-inch monitor, so I am freaking blind. So my face it's like its own sneeze guard. It's like sneeze guard distance. Anyway, sorry. That's very graphic. Never mind. There we go. Is on point for the art. Nice, right on. Thanks, man. The flying stakes. in their current state. Oh yeah. Like stakes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the legs are spears, so they double as piercing rams. So you're able to stab things with the legs. That's their main purpose: walking around on ground and stabbing things while they fly. Skewers, as it were. Accurate. Hey Fox, it's good to see you, my man. We'll be on here for another 15 minutes ish. So here's the prow of the ship. So like this portion here is going to be behind the ship, so we won't see that. All of this here is just wrapping around, and then it gets into like this leg here will be in front of this tentacle, but the tentacle is wrapping around here. So it'll be behind this leg and this leg, but it'll be on top of this machinery down in here. And then we have the front. That'll end up looking good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the composition overall. I think it's going to be fine. Let's keep that out of the way. Push this forward. And now we can focus more on the highlights here. Let's make the spiraling disappear for a little bit. So yeah, we'll work on the highlights and the shadow first, and then when we get all of that throughout the piece, we'll come back through and we'll do detailed work like folds and skin blarbles and whatever. Gotta get you going. Right on, my man. See you, Def. It's good to have you swing by, man, dude. Thank you. I really appreciate all you guys kicking through here and hanging out with me. It's very, very, very kind. You got a lot of content you can consume across the universe, and that you've chosen to spend a few minutes of time with me. I appreciate it. The eraser on this a little bit here. Very nitpicky right now, but I need to. It needs to. It takes the time that it takes is the time it takes. So me smudging this stuff in, it's going to end up being worth it. I'm thinking about how much work I need to do on artwork for all the different books that we want to get published here, and it's intimidating. Honestly, it is intimidating. Book covers will always remain full color like this. They have to. It's just, you got to grab people's eyes. But the interior art is a variable. A lot of times I end up just going full bore into like full color painting, and that is a conceit of luxury that this isn't my day job, that I can afford to whinge on the details and have a lot of strong paintings in the publications, but I'm aware of how much time these things take. And that is a legit struggle between the timing and the quality of work. It's an ongoing debate inside of me, like what's more important. And I wonder when will the day be that that efficiency is more important than quality, or or expedience more than quality, and I start reducing the intensity of the illustrations that I do. And I don't know if I like that. The artist in me certainly hates it. Win. Thin that down with an eraser a little bit there. And now another layer to hit the highlight. I can just blend this in just a little bit here. That'll feel really good. And that sets up the rest of the lighting where the camera's coming in here like that. So that will remain consistent throughout the whole piece. There. Yeah, for now we're just doing a smooth tentacle here, just very, very basic like this, and then we'll come back through and we'll embellish it with some texture and folds and skinny bits. But for now, I think this is pretty good. Yeah, that feels really good. So let's do another one. What else you got, buddy? The deuce? Why aren't you filled in? Okay. Block this in, and then we'll erase it down. So 1, 2, 3 major tentacles, and then 4 and 5. Like most of this is going to be concealed. We'll suss it out. I'm gonna hide the back. There we go. Straighten that all out, and we'll end up blending it all together, just like we did with the other tentacles. The tentacles are going to be the most difficult part. The tentacles and the spear legs on the spiderling, I think, are going to be the most tricky. Everything else from there should flow pretty smoothly. There's nothing in this composition that I haven't encountered before. So nothing about it is intimidating to me at all. But that's good news. Let's see, where are we at here? Body stays intact there. Tentacle, 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 tentacle. That one furthest back feels right. There. And then where's our line art for this? Where's that coming in from? Oh no, these are the line arts. Right. Okay. Okay, back on track. Drop the opacity on that. Actually, let's keep the opacity strong so we can smudge it all together. And then we'll drop the opacity to blend it back in. Eraser, very good. Bring that down. Get rid of that. I feel like I'm damn near out of time. Yeah, I got probably like a minute left. But that's okay. We know what we're doing now. We have a game plan for these tentacles moving forward. So when we come back tomorrow, we'll finish up these tentacles, and then we'll start working on the body of the aesthetic, and then we'll work in the spiderling fightercraft in front of it, and contort these things together into a grappled mess. And then we'll move back. We'll move forward into the foreground with the characters on the stunt ship. And then we'll finish off the background and get some stars in, and we'll call the piece done. I don't know if we're going to have this piece completed next week or not, but I think the layouts for the actual interior of the book should be done by next week. So as soon as we finish this book cover, we'll be able to then just drop into the interior artwork of this book. And that'll take a couple of weeks or so for us to do the artwork in the interior. And so in the meantime, while I'm working on the interior of that, I think I'll be starting to set up martial powers. And all of this gets concealed once it gets behind here, but we're going to include it anyway. Bob Ross style, just always have the background in there in case any elements shift around and you need to have that information becomes useful. Put this in here like that. That's my timer. All right. Kill that. Sit here, fret on this for another minute, and then we'll bounce out of here for the day. I'll be back tomorrow morning. I've got vacation time coming up in May. May 18th through 25th, I have vacation. Except I have to go downtown for my day job pilgrimage on the 19th and 20th. So I won't be streaming on the 19th and 20th. But otherwise, 18th through 25th is time off for Phil. The 23rd and 24th are Saturday and Sunday, so that'll be like normal. But the 25th is a holiday that I have a vacation day for. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be on stream that day or not. And there might be family barbecue type stuff going on that I'll be participating in instead of streaming. I don't know. There, that feels good. Let's drop the opacity down. I'm going to blend in the black of the tentacles into the line work we just did to make them match and complement each other, become cohesive and part of the same whole. There we go. All right, that's it. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to bounce out of here for the time being. So far, so good. So what, y'all? This is, I'm liking where things are going. I think this is going to end up being really good. I really do. I think this is going to end up being a good piece. Yeah, that's it for now. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. We'll continue with this work. Thursday, we'll continue with this work. I think I'll be on Thursday night. I think I have another mecha to build for our 5th player in the Spelljammer Mecha Kaiju Eberron Bastion campaign that we're running for on my Discord server. And then Friday, we'll be back on to continue artwork with this. Saturday morning, we'll be back, probably doing more Magic the Gathering card conversions. We'll do play testing for the Spelljammer campaign on Saturday afternoon. And then I'll be back Monday morning to do it all over again. So that's it for now. I really appreciate folks that are hanging out with me. If you're new to the channel, God bless and thank you. We're trying to get to 666 subscribers. We're at 664 right now. So if we get a couple more tap in, I can grab a screenshot and have a waffle party. So I'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Bye.